12 o'clock on this I almost said Thursday. I almost went back
Thursday.
to our last semester days. Ooh, caught myself there.
Whoa.
Sunday afternoon. I think I keep mixing up Thursday because Thursday was the day that we started March Madness.
And to be fair, we're back in the old setting, the old format. Where
We
it's
are
me
back
and
in the
you.
old
It's
setting.
just
We are
me
back
and
in
you
the-
again,
and
back
the-
into the Bartlett box.
In the first studio. Welcome to Valley Variety. We have live March Madness games going on right now, or don't we? Do we not?
We should. We should be.
We
If
already
we're
had a
not,
game. We had a
right.
game this morning. We have Purdue and Utah State going at it right now.
Yeah.
10-8.
Did we have one already today?
It's just in the first half, but it's 10-8 in favor of Purdue.
Nice.
Obviously, we have James Madison and Duke duking it out at 2:15. See what I did there?
Yes. Nice going.
Thank you. We have Baylor and Clemson, and then obviously GCU and Alabama at the 4 o'clock, and then Northwestern and UConn. So some pretty good slate of games today.
Yeah. I mean, it's March.
It is March.
It is March.
It's already been a lot going on. Marquette won this
You
morning.
telling me.
That's why
Oh, Marquette won?
Marquette.
Oh, good for them.
Marquette barely squeaked by Colorado this morning. So Marquette's on their way to the Sweet 16.
That's something to do it.
So good for Marquette.
Right.
Good for Jesse Broders.
Jesse Broders. How do you mean?
Big Marquette guy.
Is he really a big Marquette guy?
Yeah.
I knew he was a big Wisconsin guy, but I didn't know he was a big Marquette guy.
Oh, update score now. Utah State is leading Purdue 14-10.
Whoa. Wow. Okay, that just happened really fast.
Yeah, they're jumping on.
How did that happen?
Well, when you put the ball in the basket, I guess you get points.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that's how basketball worked. That's
Yeah.
wow.
It's like the guy explaining
Really
rebounding
fast.
to the reporter.
Oh, Tayshaun Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you get up and you grab the ball when it's coming off the backboard. And
Grab the ball, and they had more of those than we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude's such a mood. He's such a mood. Yes, that's
Yes, Tayshaun.
really shows you us journalists really got to be specific with your questions, because if you're not, then
Yeah.
then
really
the
do.
player will literally explain what a rebound is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he did ask
He did.
Hey, how did he asked it really rude too. How did Baylor get out rebounded by that team? It's like, well, first of all, I don't care about you. Second of all,
yeah. What is this? I mean,
but I mean, hey,
Interrogated?
the news lines going around the first weekend. This is great. I mean, Oakland Golden Bears or Grizzlies are having they're a great March Madness until they didn't yesterday when DJ Burns, the America's sweetheart, came in and ruined that. Did you know that Jack Golke, the guy who shot 10 3-pointers against Kentucky, had a line of photos, people trying to take photos with him during the Oregon game?
really?
Yeah.
During the game, actual game?
During the Oregon game, the one that happened after
Okay.
in Pittsburgh.
Gotcha.
So he was there after the loss to NC State, and then continued to have multiple pictures being taken with fans because he just went out there for the fans to appreciate him.
Oh, that's nice. That's sweet.
He signed 2 NIL deals overnight, virtually overnight after beating Kentucky. The TurboTax one was very strange. Immediately, I started seeing TurboTax ads with Jack Golke in a hotel because he had to shoot it in a hotel room.
Oh, right.
So literally overnight overnight success and fame and celebrity given to a guy who absolutely deserves it. I hate my computer when it plugs in and starts to make noises when I don't need it to.
Doubt what March do, man. Doubt what March do. Doubt what March do, man.
And I know there's an elephant in the room. I'm talking about Jack Golke and Oakland while wearing an enormous amount of blue. A lot of blue and white is on my person right now.
I'm sure.
Because I am that Kentucky guy.
Mm.
That is heartbroken. Very heartbroken about March Madness.
No, I'm sorry for your loss. It was hard to.
Well, it's the 4th year in a row for Kentucky for mediocrity, and it's not great. It's not something I like to live with, Jones, but it's something I have to.
Something about those tall white guys.
But that's not what we even lost. We lost to the short white guy.
Even then.
The last 2
How
times we've
ironic.
lost in the first round have been really short white guys. That's what I'm saying. Like Doug Edert from St. Peter's. What a great run
that's
that
true.
they had.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
We forgot about Doug Edert. That mustache was
Dougie E.
dreamy. Yeah.
Dougie E.
Dougie E.
I'm more into Dougie T.
I did more of a
the
Doug
legend.
E.
Doug E.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Doug
Looking at-
E. Ah, I see what you
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
2 E's in the last name.
Exactly. Let's
True
just
story.
put this on the poll because I'm sure people will want to vote on this one. What is more haunting to Kentucky fans now, St. Peter's Doug Eater's mustache or Jack Golke looking like Chandler Bing? Chandler Bing or that mustache is what I'm going to put up there for what's more haunting for Kentucky fans.
Sure.
There we go.
Well, you
He
know,
does
fair.
look an enormous amount of like Chandler Bing.
He does. He does look a lot like Chandler Bing. There's no really denying that. Yeah, March has been March, obviously. Everything going on. We have the Ivy League schools really taking over March again. We got
Yale.
Yale.
Huge win for Yale.
So good for Yale. Good for the Yale Bulldogs.
Right.
Taking on San Diego State later today.
Yeah, San Diego State might run away with that one.
Yeah.
But I thought Auburn was going to run away with that game. So we could be
That's-
wrong once again.
That's true.
but-
I saw something funny. The Yale people keep tagging at Yale MBNB, thinking it's their men's basketball team. It is not. So if I look it up here on X, still getting used to that. It is Yale MBNB is Yale Molecular Biophysics and Biochemistry, and they've
Wow.
now put in their bio not at Yale M basketball, because people keep tagging the biochemistry school in all these posts, and they've had to come out here and say we are not.
We're not the basketball
We are
team.
not the basketball team.
But they probably have basketball players in that field.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
I think someone put out that one of their players got an internship. Like they announced it on LinkedIn. Like I just proud to announce that I got a summer internship, and like a week later they're beating Auburn in the March Madness first round.
It's always funny with those schools. Like these are some like the most prestigious institutions in the country.
Right. And I'll always say like it's not March until a future accountant takes out a blue blood single-handedly.
It's very true.
And that's exactly what happened to Kentucky. But, fantastic for Jack Golke. Glad he's going to get his 2 weeks of fame and then drop off suddenly into the accounting world. I don't know where
Everyone
he's
talks
going.
about the old basketball players they played against carpenters and accountants.
Right. This is
Well,
literally
now we're losing to carpenters and accountants.
right.
This is
Exactly.
March.
Well, in March Madness, that's usually what that's happened for years. I mean, that's been centuries of tradition for March Madness. But
Right.
But hey, it's just how it is, especially in these days where NIL and transfer portal is coming to play, and we still get beat by accountants. It's like, okay, well, there you go. Thanks, March.
You can take the the madness out of March, but you can't take the March out of madness. Talking to you, Shamrock Shake,
What the hell does that mean?
'cause I like it.
You like the Shamrock Shake?
I do like the Shamrock Shake. I haven't had one in a while, and
Do you not have one since it's been back out into the public?
I haven't been to McDonald's a lot. I'm not a big Mickey D's guy.
Why not?
It's like a cheeseburger now used to be on the dollar menu. Now
It's
it's
true.
like $2.15.
They really upped their prices. That is by over 100% raising the price.
Come on, man. I know it's good. It's a cheeseburger. It's a pretty good cheeseburger, but hey, when I was
$2.15
when I was
good.
growing up, it was $1.
But what you're saying is it's not $2.50 good.
No, I don't think any. Many things in life aren't $2.50 good.
Can you name some of those things that are not $2.50 good?
I can tell you right now. I don't think a McDouble is $2.15 good. $2.50 good.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, 2 patties and cheese instead of just 1 patty and
Sure.
cheese. I mean, hey, come on, don't disrespect.
I'll give you 50 cents for one sausage biscuit. I think for $1 I should get 2 of the sausage biscuits. That's just an opinion.
Just an opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
I think I'm actually looking at the $1, $2, $3 menu. Asterisk it says, because it's obviously not $1 some places.
It's not. Oh,
Well, there's
Well,
just
that's
a little
unfortunate.
little asterisk there. Yeah, it's fine if you make the quarter pounder, a little more expensive. I think I can live with that. The double quarter pounder with cheese, make it a little more expensive. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, the quarter pounder is pretty big.
It is pretty big.
To be fair, it's massive.
It's sizable.
Very.
The double quarter pounder as well. That's a
There's a double quarter pounder?
yeah.
Oh, no. How have I not seen
A
this?
double quarter pounder with cheese. Or as they say in France, Royale with cheese.
Why would they say that?
Because of the metric system.
Boo!
Have you never seen what movies? Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. Oh, yeah.
And there's a scene in there where it's like, you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France? It's a Royale with cheese. Because America is the only country that doesn't use the metric system, which I think is wrong.
Tight.
Because we differ like that. Everyone jumping on Arizona for not changing the clocks. Are we just going to ignore that the United States is the only country that doesn't use the metric system?
You got a fair point there.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, stop dogging on Arizona.
Yeah.
Come on.
You think we're different. We're the only country in the entire world that don't use that.
Country?
So I mean, there might be a country out there that maybe doesn't use it. Like, I don't know if Guatemala uses the metric system. I'm sure they do. I'm sure Kuwait uses the metric system. I'm almost certain Kuwait uses it.
You're certain?
I'm almost certain Kuwait uses this.
Why would... Okay.
I'm almost certain.
So anyway, going back to some March Madness, I do want to get to this. As much as I want to avoid the discussion, I think it's newsworthy enough, and it's something I happen to be professional in. I don't want to keep talking about Kentucky, but I have to keep talking about Kentucky until, eventually it's out of the news picture entirely. But them being the biggest upset this year, last year was Purdue and then Arizona. Those were the two biggest upsets last year that we can all remember. Kentucky will be the biggest upset this year because that's the lowest seed to win. That's the highest seed to lose. Well, no, that's going to be the lowest seed to win. There's no lower seeds left.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah, that's true.
There's not going to be another bigger upset than that.
Right.
That's just how it's going to... I mean, unless somehow an 11 seed gets all the way to the championship and then, there goes Kentucky's stained record a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But losing
as of right now, yes.
Losing to... Well, and it's not as of right now, really. It's like in the first round, that is the biggest upset.
Yes.
You don't expect those teams to go home that early. So that will be the biggest upset throughout this entire tournament, probably. Most likely. 95% chance.
Yes.
And Calipari is now on the hot seat. I don't know why that is. Actually, I do know why that is.
He keeps losing in March.
He keeps losing in March.
Yeah.
From his start, 2010 to 2019, I mean, you couldn't mess with Kentucky. There was no one calling for his job other than the people who hated one and done. But
right.
He kept making it to the Elite Eight at minimum, or Sweet 16 at minimum. Mm-hmm. He never lost in the first round. This is new territory. 2013, he didn't make the tournament, but that was injuries. We'll discount that for now. 2020, this is where it starts to go downhill. But 2019-2020 season, it looked like they were going to make a good tournament push. COVID happened, so we couldn't see. Come out of COVID, first season, don't go to the tournament. That was pretty rough season to watch as a fan. The second season, that was Oscar Tshiebwe's first. That was St. Peter's. St. Peter's beat us in the first round.
Right.
Second year, Oscar Tshiebwe is back again. They're all talking about, let's get number 9. This is the year that we go for the championship. And then they lose to Kansas State in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was a tough team. Kansas State was a big team. Can't hate that. They made a big run. This year, we see Oakland. We see NC State probably coming out of the second round. We see probably Marquette in Sweet 16. We're thinking at least Sweet 16. Every fan ever was like, we don't make it to the Sweet 16. This is a bust of a season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the team you do it with 5 potential NBA players on your roster, 2 of them coming off the bench. You can't mess up, or else you're going to be clowned or fired or worse. with how crazy our fans are. And we lose in the first round. And that was heartbreaking. I was full of rage. Jonah Krell saw it firsthand, actually. I was sitting there, and Jonah Krell was in net at bay watching me.
Jonah Krell also picked Oakland
He also
to win.
picked Oakland. His perfect, stupid bracket was one of the last remaining perfect brackets throughout the first day until McNeese did not beat Gonzaga. He had McNeese winning that game. Gonzaga losing, but, whatever. He had Oakland winning, and I had fear flushed over because he was perfect from the start of that day.
Yeah.
And as soon as he said he was perfect, I think you gave me a look like, oh no. Oh no, Jonah Krell knows ball.
Yeah, I had a bad feeling when Jonah said that he had picked.
Right.
I was like, uh-oh.
But Calipari is on the hot seat. And I've seen a lot of comments. We had Matt Jones on our show before, and he is on kind of that train. He's been on that train for a while, Matt Jones, to get Calipari out of Kentucky. But I can't see
Yeah,
it.
I mean, who else? I mean,
You can't. There's no one else. There's no one else better for this job.
yeah, well, it's the question that, whoever. I heard a lot with ASU, too. I know it's a different situation, but with the Bobby stuff. You got to. Time for Bobby to go. It's time. It's over. Said, okay, well, who do you hire? Like, so in your guys' case, who's better than John Calipari?
Oh, there's no one.
No.
No one.
And in our case, ASU's case,
There's
who's
there's-
better than?
There's a lot of different people better than Bobby.
But for ASU,
There's a lot of different people.
that's
better
what
than
I'm. But
Bobby.
for ASU, there may not be though.
Yeah, but you can probably. There's a chance.
Yeah,
There's a lot
but
of different people better than Bobby.
but I think it's not the same. But it's who you gonna get that?
Right.
Are
Who's
you-
coming to ASU?
Are
for
you
that
gonna
job?
miss Bobby more than the person that you bring in?
Sure.
And if you do, don't. And if you think you will, you don't fire your coach.
Sure. You give them a 2-year extension instead.
You give them, you let them. Okay,
Because that's what they did. They extended Bobby's contract.
yeah.
He
No, they did.
accepted it. So
No, they did. I don't hate it. I just want them,
oh well.
But I mean, but you guys are kind of like the Buffalo Bills of college basketball. You just kind of keep,
I don't know if we can really put that on Kentucky yet. That's currently
You're
maybe,
you're
but
you're like the you're like more like the '90s Bills.
all time. I mean, we're talking about 8 probably the most historic basketball program in college basketball. This is probably the greatest program in college basketball history.
Yeah, but you're like right now you're like the Four Falls of Buffalo. Like you're the time that the Bills made 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all of them in a row.
But we haven't. If we made Super Bowls, Calipari wouldn't be on the hot seat. Like, think about if we made championship teams that went there and then lost, he wouldn't be on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat right now because he's losing in the first round with championship contending teams, with teams that will have huge NBA talent on them. Cason Wallace was on last year's team, and look at what he's doing now on the Thunder. I mean, he's really been an integral piece to that puzzle that Oklahoma City's been missing. And then the year before, I mean, you had Isaiah Jackson. There's a couple of players that haven't been great in the NBA over the last couple of years, which is shocking. But Tyrese Maxey, we didn't get to see him in the tournament, but oh my God, Tyrese Maxey is crazy right now.
Oh crap! You might be closer to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that's been the comparison I've seen, and it's been killing me. Because no, we're nowhere close to that. Currently, yes, we are becoming the Dallas Cowboys slowly, more slowly every year. But
Yeah, you may not be there yet. I don't think it's.
But over the last 3 years, we're definitely dealing in that kind of term of mediocrity.
The team who makes it but doesn't
doesn't do anything.
that doesn't do anything.
Makes it to the tournament and then chokes
Like
right there.
what's the stat about the Cowboys? They haven't been to an NFC Championship game since
Too long to
before
count.
before the iPhone was invented or something.
Yeah,
Like,
something like that.
I don't know what the
I
exact,
haven't won a playoff game since
Yeah.
X or
or something like
whatever.
something like that. Anyway,
Exactly. No,
how long do you think the reign is until it's just enough is enough?
right now people saying enough is enough. That's the thing.
Mhm.
I
But
don't
you're
know.
obviously on the boat of like, hey, it's not
There's no one better for this
jump
job.
the ship.
No, well, everyone outside of the Kentucky fan base is saying this is a stupid idea. What are Kentucky fans doing? And that's what Kentucky fans are. Is we're overly emotional about this team. This team means too much to us. That's the thing. If we lose, we start thinking, okay, what's the problem? Let's get rid of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the X factor in the last 4 years, the only thing that hasn't changed over the last 4 years is John Calipari.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look back from the last decade before, the one X factor that kept us over the Sweet 16 bump was John Calipari. So what do you attribute this to? Is it John can't figure out transfer portal? Can Cal not figure out how the new three-point shooting teams work? I would say no to that one because the highest three-point percentage was Kentucky this year.
Mm-hmm.
Took the most, made the most. That's the craziest stat. They took the most three-pointers and made the most, but when it came to the tournament, flew it all away. So it's a weird situation. I personally will stand with Cal. I was yelling at my TV, like, Cal, let's do something different here. But he did everything right. It's the players that were killing me.
Right.
When I was yelling at the TV, it wasn't like, Cal, what are you doing? We have 3 timeouts left. It was, Reed, what is that shot? That's a terrible pass, Reed Shepherd. Get him off the court, Cal. And then Cal got him off the court. I was like, wow, he's listening to me. Cal knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's making the adjustments in the game. He's not against taking his best player out of the game in the final moments. He did that because he wasn't doing his best. So I don't know. I think people who don't know a lot about basketball are shouting at a wall right now with Calipari.
Right.
Because he's not going anywhere in my eyes, but Mitch Barnhart, the athletic director, has a different opinion probably. He's one of those. He's not Ray Anderson where it's like he makes his own decisions, but he does have this reputation that he did say, like, if you are a coach here at this on either of these Kentucky basketball teams for men's and women's, because the women's coach just got fired this year,
Mm-hmm.
you have to make something happen in March. You have to do something in March, is what he said. So that's the quote that we heard more recently, but I don't think that means he's going to fire Calipari. A lot of fans really want that to happen. Not great.
Yeah, I think almost like that. It's like, hey, it's not like, no, he's not threatening his job, but he's giving them an idea of, like, here's what you haven't done.
Right. Well, it's what you
Which I think
haven't
is
done, but it's something that he could still do. The people coming in next year are not bad at all. The recruiting, This is why Calipari has this job. His recruiting has never gone below the 3rd in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
He's always had 1 or 2, the top recruiting classes in the nation, because he's the best recruiter college basketball has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
We've never seen anyone this good at their job at recruiting basketball players out of high school. He is really good at constructing team rosters to do something in March. More recently, he hasn't been, but I mean, the team. If you just saw some of the rosters that he did before, I mean, it's astounding to how it all leads to only one championship, which is what a lot of haters will point back to. Yes, you have 15 seasons of 30-plus NBA players coming through here with one championship.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a tough business.
It's a tough business.
Because
March Madness is hard to win.
If you're not the last team standing, then it's like any team. If you're not the last team standing, then your season's a failure. It's just kind of how and so you're gonna get the. So it just depends on the how people look at it. I think in that style, I think people are being too harsh with it. I mean, there's like sometimes kids just get lucky. Like sometimes, like and you guys have just been on the wrong. Guys just been on the wrong end of it.
Right.
I think I'm a firm believer in just coincidence. Like I'm not a big conspiracy guy. I think if it happens, it's like kids hit their shots sometimes.
And Jack Golke hit 10 of them.
And look, if you're in March Madness, if you made the tournament,
Crazy.
if you're in the tournament just in general, you got to be okay at basketball.
Okay, at least. Yeah.
No one in this tournament sucks at basketball. Like
Sure.
they're all better than the average Joe. They could probably drop 100 on any of us. So I think people got to remember that too. Like these kids are, like the way college sports is now, these kids are basically professional athletes.
Well, yeah.
Like-
yeah.
Like, to be fair, they're getting paid like professional athletes too. So like, I'll give them their respect. They getting paid like professional athletes.
Well, yeah. They are. They're getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's true.
But hey, EA Sports College Football 25.
Purdue is up
coming
8
out.
against Utah State right now.
Oh, I was
So-
just trying to find because I was gonna check the score.
Yep, they are under 5 minutes in the first half to go.
33-24.
And they would be playing Gonzaga in the second round. Or, sorry, Sweet 16.
Oh, that'd be a fun game. Purdue and Gonzaga.
Right.
Dang,
Now, the other game that's happening
it's a good matchup.
later today that we both really want to see, Jones, is GCU and Alabama.
Yes, I am so excited.
Alabama
I believe in
scored
the Lopes.
over 100 points in their win over Charleston, 109 points against Charleston in the first round. They are not a bad team. Doesn't have Brandon Miller anymore. The controversy that they had last year is no longer something that's really bearing them down.
Mm-hmm.
But GCU, the Lopes, man, they're
The Lopes
nice.
are different, dude. They are a different ball club.
It's a fun team to watch. Both of these teams are really fun, really explosive on offense. GCU's got some defense to lock it down, but Alabama, I mean, the SEC has had a terrible season so far with March Madness. First round was awful for the SEC. So GCU could probably make something happen there. Who knows? I want to see GCU win it, though. Number 12 seed, make it to the Sweet 16. Be kind of tight.
It'd be awesome. I'm gonna stick by. I'm gonna say it right now. So I have a hot take on the board on the Cronkite News board
Sure.
that I'm sticking by. I think GCU wins tonight.
Yeah.
I really do. I think.
They face North Carolina in the Sweet 16.
That would be awesome. I want to see GCU and UNC go at it, or as the national broadcaster call them, Grand Canyon, which is still wrong, by the way.
I mean, they are Grand Canyon.
Yeah, but it's not what you call them.
They are Grand Canyon University.
Yeah, but it's just not what you call them.
Oh, you just call them GCU.
You call them GCU. It's like Prescott. You can call it Prescott,
But it's Prescott.
but it's Prescott.
Yeah, it's
You
still
can
weird.
call it whatever you want.
Nah,
Doesn't
it's
mean
still weird.
doesn't mean it's what it is.
I think if GCU makes it to the Sweet 16, you're talking about a really cool Cinderella run. But I also see another Cinderella run in the making with DJ Burns and DJ Horn on NC State.
NC State.
That is a really fun team to
them
watch.
boys they're fun to watch.
And that was a great game last night. I don't know if you saw any of it, Jones, but
I saw a little bit. Yeah.
that was great. I mean, talk about a team that's just awesome to watch. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. NC State is here.
Yeah.
I forgot with Oakland. Great game. DJ Burns was nuts. DJ Horn was even better on the free throw line to win the game.
It's a little hard to watch. Yeah.
I don't know. NC State, yeah. Well, for DJ Horn, who was on ASU last season, losing in the first round and going to NC State the next year.
Yeah. It was a little
Yeah.
difficult.
Right.
I can't lie. It's kind of hurt my feelings, DJ.
They almost had Rob Dillingham on that team.
Really?
Yeah, he had NC State or Kentucky on his list. So Rob Dillingham went to Kentucky, lost in the first round. NC State still goes to Yeah, it's pretty heartbreaking. But NC State, I think it's America's team right now. After DJ Burns, people love this kid. I mean, he's just huge. He looks like a football player.
Mm-hmm.
I could see this guy on a defensive line like tomorrow if you told me he was a football player.
Yeah.
He's huge, and he's just bodying through people. He's a battering ram of a person. You don't see a guy this huge just barreling through people on basketball courts anymore.
Yeah.
I love it. They're playing Marquette in the Sweet 16, so that's probably going to be a Thursday matchup. But oh my God, DJ Burns, cut it out.
Again, we try to figure out how to do any work on Thursdays in the Bureau.
Yeah, there's no way, especially if GCU makes it.
Because that's the day that GCU would be playing, correct?
Oh no, they'd
Or-
probably be playing Friday. Probably
Okay.
Friday game. It
Okay.
depends. It really does. They'll randomize it again. So,
Right.
But yeah, Marquette, NC State, that's a good game. Creighton and Tennessee, another good game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Illinois and Iowa State, another great game. I mean, we're in the great game territory.
Yeah.
UConn's playing Northwestern tonight. That's going to be a really big one.
That's a good one.
UConn decimated their 16 seed, as have all the 1 seeds this year, thankfully. We don't have any of that funny business going around. But UConn, they might be the best team in this tournament still.
They probably are. They like they're just different. They're with like who they play I'm trying to figure out who they
In the first round,
yeah, who they
Stetson.
Stetson, yeah. And then just like but yeah, 91-52. Like wow. Only
Yeah.
lost like 3 games his entire year. They're probably the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe I my pick is Houston. I think Houston's going to
Houston.
not because I know anything about college basketball. Just to be fair, I don't know anything about college basketball.
I like this A&M Houston matchup personally because I know what A&M is capable of, and I know that Houston's perimeter defense probably won't. If A&M can shoot the lights out with Wade Taylor, A&M could probably make the upset happen here. And that's what people have been looking at this matchup with. If Asian Steph Curry comes out from Nebraska, or if Wade Taylor comes out from A&M, could they beat Houston? And the answer is kind of back and forth. But whoever comes out of that game has to go against Duke or James Madison in the second round, and it's probably going to be Duke.
Mm-hmm.
But A&M, they can really shoot lights out against Houston, a team that does struggle against hot shooting teams.
Yeah.
A&M could do it. It's not out of the realm of possibility. I personally picked Nebraska to beat Houston. But
really?
I did. I had Nebraska beating A&M and then Houston, but they just had they're going to have clips on One Shining Moment from that game.
Yeah, the kid, yeah.
Because he was heartbroken.
He's in
If you want to talk about like the guy that you see on TV crying, it was Nebraska. It was the entire team of Nebraska just in shambles because
Yeah.
they knew they could have won that game.
Yeah, it just. Oh, it was heartbreaking. It was.
And it's heartbreak across all of March Madness, really. I mean, it's the Oregon game last night that went to double overtime.
Mm.
That was huge. And you just saw, like, as soon as Creighton went on that huge run at the end in double overtime with Oregon scoring nothing, you just saw them just absolutely down. Terrible. Just all Kuznard, who played out of his mind, you just saw as soon as he realized that the game was over, that his season was over, you could see when it happened on the court. Because all the other players just went down with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could see how they hung their heads and how fast they got back on defense. They knew it was over. Those are the emotions that I hate to see.
Yeah, that's when it's hard to watch. It's like,
But the other side is Creighton relieved tremendously to get out of that. What was the other team that really got through? Was it Illinois? I think it was Illinois when they got through. Who did they beat? They beat Duquesne. That can't be the team I'm thinking of because there was one.
Illinois?
Who's Brad Underwood coaching right now? Is that Illinois?
Yeah, they won the beat Duquesne.
Yeah. Did they come in with the? Okay, hang on. I have a video. I know this is him. I know it was Brad Underwood who did this. Yeah, it was. So after they beat Duquesne, for whatever reason, Brad Underwood went in with a water gun into the locker room with the rest of the coaching staff, who also had many water guns. But this guy pulled out a huge, like, water blaster and just sprayed it around the locker room after beating an 11 seed Duquesne.
Yeah, it's not.
By about, by the way, 26 points.
Yeah. Yeah, congrats on making it to the Sweet 16 here.
It's like,
if they get eliminated,
I mean, that would be the funniest
I
thing.
better see all the.
They're playing Iowa State in the Sweet 16. That's a really good team as well.
That's going to be a fun game. But that's on Thursday, right?
That'll
be that Thursday
yeah,
matchup.
Perhaps. Most likely. God, what I love March. I think that NC State, looking at Cinderella runs that could happen, we're about to come to the point of there's no more Cinderella teams around, except for NC State. Because Purdue will probably win. Duke and Houston will probably win, most likely. Baylor should beat Clemson. Let me see. GCU could beat Alabama, but let's say they don't. And then you have San Diego State could probably beat Yale. UConn is going to thrash Northwestern. We're coming on that point of Cinderella teams will either reveal themselves or lose before they become Cinderella teams. And NC State got lucky to not have to go against another blue blood in the second round. So they haven't been technically revealed as the Cinderella team yet. But if they beat Marquette, hey, that's Cinderella story for you right there.
Yeah.
And last year we had a few Cinderella teams come out because a hell of a lot of people just won in the first round that shouldn't have. But what I have, Jones, is the top 5 Cinderella teams in NCAA history. The top 5. And I will do one OLI, one outside looking in. I will give it to Oral Roberts from a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Just one for Oral Roberts. Didn't like them coming in, but man, did they make a good run a couple of years ago. All right. Now, for number 5, I do have number 11 Loyola Marymount in 1990. They got to the Elite 8. Yeah, 1990. Pretty later in the years, but it was a Paul Westhead team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got pretty far for an 11 seed, Elite 8. That's not bad. That's just number 5, though. Number 4, St. Peter's. Needless to say, they did pretty well. Got to the Elite 8 as a 15 seed, the first to ever do that, and then lost to North Carolina, who went to the championship and lost to Kansas. Great team. Doug Edert, still haunting me. Number 3, the Sweethearts of America, Loyola Chicago.
18? Is that the year?
2018, yep. Yeah. 2018, they got to the Final Four, lost to Michigan. They did benefit from that side of the bracket where UMBC beat Virginia, and when Kansas State beat Kentucky in the second round.
Yeah.
That Kentucky team, by the way, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So Loyola Chicago did benefit from a couple people dropping out early, but
Sister Jean. Let's hear it.
Still kicking around to this day. Sister Jean leading the Ramblers to great things.
I've always been a fan of Loyola Chicago.
Okay. Number 2 is Butler. 2010 and 2011, back-to-back years, they get to the championship as the 11 seed. Crazy. Gordon Hayward was on both of those teams.
That's right.
Lost both championship matches to Duke and UConn consecutively. But I give them this spot because of all-time aura. This is what this list is, Jones. Aura.
All right, I think I is the incumbent number 1 then.
The incumbent number 1 is ultimate aura. I mean, you cannot get better than this team. This team had the ultimate Cinderella run because they shouldn't have been in the tournament in the first place. They willed themselves through their conference championship, got out of the first round in a bit of a double overtime situation, and got all the way to cutting the nets in April. This team was the 6th seed, NC State. Jim Valvano,
Yeah.
the Italian mastermind.
Yeah. The greatest.
1983. That was a great team, and the only one of these teams with 30 for 30 on them.
Oh, that's right. I
Survive and advance.
survived in advance. Yeah.
They were the team that started fouling people in the last couple minutes. That was this team. Love NC State.
I'm a big fan of George Mason, 2006, the 11 seed.
Oh yeah,
He made what? I think they made the Final Four.
yeah, I think so.
I believe they did. Yes, they.
I was on Aura though, Jones. I was looking for Aura all time, and the all-time Aura belonged to NC State.
No, absolutely. No, the number one is it's no question who number one is,
Oh yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt, is Jimmy V.
yeah. It was no competition there.
No competition whatsoever.
Now there was like a couple 15 and 16 seeds I could have picked, but they didn't get past the first or second round, like Lehigh, UMBC. But if you made it further as that Cinderella run, oh my God, Aura.
Yeah, Loyola Chicago was fun. That was a fun. I remember that one being a really fun one.
Yeah, Loyola
In
Chicago
18
was like they won over America with that.
Yeah. Well, like Sister Jean, and then like the way they won, they beat Miami with the buzzer beater.
Oh, every team that they beat before the Final Four, I think maybe the Elite Eight, they had a collective 4 points total of difference between the first three matchups.
Yeah.
They won by a collective 4 points, which means they won by at least 1 point, probably just about 1 point in every game that they played in the first three rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just crazy. That's
Yeah.
insane. The only reason they weren't number two was because Butler did it twice in a row,
Right.
which is just insane to me. That is ultimate Cinderella run.
That is.
2 times getting disrespected and 2 times proving people wrong is great. Good job, Bulldogs.
Great job.
And good job, Oklahoma City Thunder legend Gordon Hayward.
That's right. That is right.
Currently on the Thunder right now. That's funny to
I
me.
forgot he was in the league, actually.
Yeah,
not disrespect
we
to
all
him,
kind
but-
of do forget that.
'cause we all have the one moment.
We also don't ever forget the injury that occurred to him in
Yeah.
the Celtics uniform. But,
Yes.
yeah, great time.
Unfortunately, defined his,
It
But
did.
hopefully he's doing good. I mean, he was on the Celtics,
The
came
Jazz was his.
Jazz.
Yeah, he was an all-star on the Jazz.
And then
He's been on the Hornets for a little while, and now he's
Hornets.
on the Thunder.
Yeah. Good for him. Go Gordon Hayward.
Good job, Gordo.
Gordon.
Gordon.
It is so Gordon.
He's Gordon.
Gordon. Well, he's not Gordon yet. Hasn't retired.
Ah.
Ah.
Hilarious.
I do have one thing to bring up.
Yeah.
It's not college basketball,
Oh,
But
is this Shohei?
but it has taken up the. It is Shohei. It is. It's. I know. Not a ton of. Baseball doesn't make crazy headlines, but I feel like this one was maybe one of the bigger baseball headlines of all time. That Shohei Ohtani's interpreter, Ippei, was accused of stealing Shohei's money to pay off an illegal like an illegal gambling ring, or something like that. Which, by itself, is pretty crazy. And then now there's debate that Shohei Ohtani paid or transferred the money to Ippei. There's like an ongoing investigation with Major League Baseball investigating, because there's an ESPN article released on Wednesday that shows that Shohei Ohtani wired the money to Ippei, which means that if that's true, then Shohei broke the law, because it's an illegal gambling ring and that you can't. And then there's like more. There's more.
That's great.
It's more reports now coming out that Ippei has lied about his education history.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I invited this guy a while ago, John David Kenny, the top bracket in our tournament right now, walking into the studio. John David Kenny, welcome to the show. This is a beautiful moment. Jones, have you met John Kenny before?
I don't think formally. Jacob Jones, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
He has the greatest voice at Cronkite, the most pinchable cheeks, I would say. John David Kenny, welcome to the show. Lovely to have you here.
Nice to see y'all.
You are the top bracket in March Madness right now. Can you go into detail on like what you picked and how you picked that?
Well, I know the ACC. I grew up in North Carolina, so that's a lot of ACC basketball. So I know in the SEC, I've seen a lot of SEC too. So I kind of knew the up and down of that.
Very good.
And I know a lot of Big 12 teams came in, but a lot of times the Big 12 falls apart in the tournament. So
is there a bit of luck that went into your picks here?
some of it was luck.
Very good. You have FAU that beat Northwestern, but that did not happen. You had BYU, didn't happen. Most of these you got pretty much correct here. You had Kentucky and Florida leaving the first round, so and you had McNeese and Stanford winning the first round. Good job. That did not happen, but I respected those picks. Overall, though, not a lot of points lost on your side. You have a really high max of 1790. That's one of the best brackets I've seen so far. I don't know what your current rank is nationally, but it is. It's within the top 500,000.
Wow.
Look at you.
Wow.
John Kenny knows ball.
Yeah. On the women's side, it's definitely not as good. We just had Ohio State just got beat by Duke, so that was a pretty big upset.
Oh God. Now you have some competition around here, and I want you to tell me what you know about some of these people. Jake Brown is number 5 overall. Aaron Gonzalez is number 4 right now. Jack Footer is number 3, and then Adam Camarena is number 2. Do you know anything about any of those 4 people I just listed?
I know Brown was here a couple of years ago, at least last year for Cronkite News. I know he's moved on, so I know he knows his basketball. So
yeah, you are the only. No, there's 2 current Cronkite people. Jack Footer is a current Cronkite guy, but I think Aura legend status. I think John, you were rightfully at number 1 here. Let me see. Jack Bartlett was number 3 yesterday.
Really?
Until a couple other losses happened. Bartlett's busted bracket is what he calls it now. Let me see the one that really got him. He had Kentucky going pretty far. Can't relate. South Carolina, that's what got him. He had South Carolina going all the way to the Final Four.
that was not good.
Silly man.
South Carolina's
Underestimating Oregon. Let's go Ducks. But John, you picked UConn. Why UConn? Go all the way.
I think they're the most consistent team out there. They've been, I think Dan Hurley, unlike our the other brother here at Arizona State, is the most consistent.
So you got the better Hurley of the two?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Do you think they would be? This is a really good question. Do you think UConn would be the successful if it was the other Hurley coaching them?
I don't know about that unless Bob Sr. was over there helping.
Hey, 2 Bobbies make one hell of a storm.
Yes.
It's double the Bobby, double the fun.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Hey, I like Bobby.
Which one?
What? Bobby.
There's 3 of them.
Bobby Jr.
Oh,
Which is actually
that's actually 2 of them.
Coach Bobby.
Coach Bobby.
Because if you're going to talk about Bobby Hurley Jr., who's on the basketball team, that's Bobby the Third.
Oh.
Bobby the Third.
That's Trey Hurley.
Trey.
That's Trey Hurley.
Look
That's
at
that's also his Instagram bio.
That
At Trey,
that is right.
At Trey Hurley.
We need Bobby Hurley the Third on this show.
Yes.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, he'd have fun with us.
No, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
All right, John, thank you for swinging by.
Oh, yes.
Perfect as always.
Oh, yes.
Good luck for the rest of the tournament. You've been number 1 for a while now. I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Such a pleasure.
Yeah, it was.
Golly.
Love to see it. Sorry I interrupted with your Shohei commentary, but we needed that. Thank you, John.
Yeah, I was looking at all the celebrity brackets of all the.
Oh yeah, the Stephen A. Smith bracket.
Stephen A.'s not doing too bad. I think I was also looking at my rank. My rank is like
Oh, mine's terrible.
18,000 something.
I'm at 21.7 million place. That's the place I'm at right now. I'm
Someone
poor.
says 100% on their brackets. So there's
That's not possible.
So I don't think that's, maybe they have something wrong there.
They're
but-
liars.
But on the ESPN bracket challenge, it says 100%. So I don't know.
Okay, well, I gotta
There's
investigate
there's
that.
three number ones on there, and it says 100%. So
I certainly have to investigate.
I'll have to go and check.
Because I'm pretty sure we got that notification after the first day or second day.
That there was no perfect.
Yeah, there was no perfect brackets. So what's this about? This is some funny business going on here. And they all three have a different. No, two of the three have the same champion, and it's Purdue.
Purdue.
Two of the three perfect brackets on.
Oh, and then the other one does UNC.
One, other one's UNC. Yeah.
Got a couple U of A's down here.
San Diego State, Arizona, Houston, and Purdue Final Four for one of them.
Trying to find a.
Let me see. In Iowa, Houston, North Carolina, Creighton Final Four for the UNC winning bracket. That's weird. This is very weird.
That's interesting. We have I'm just going back and looking down at all the interesting we have a bracket that has 11 seed NC State win the national championship.
In the Valley Variety Challenge?
No, just in the overall the national leaderboard.
Well, I do want to talk about one of the brackets in the Valley Variety Challenge that was fourth place at one point during the first weekend, and that is the ASU Picks bracket. If you've seen it on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, you know that I went out to Tempe and downtown Phoenix and had 63 different people contribute to my bracket, and they picked Duke to win it all. They were doing really good in the first weekend, and they still have all four of their Final Four predictions in play.
That's very impressive.
They only have 3 Elite Eight incorrect picks, but right now, not a bad slate of teams that they've selected. They have Alabama beating GCU, though.
Okay.
So one of you or the ASU Picks bracket is going to go down pretty hard today.
Right.
Duke, Purdue, and San Diego State round out the rest of their Final Four. Shout out to Maria Stobbs, who picked Oakland to beat Kentucky, by the way.
Oh, more than one person did it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, Maria Stobbs was the person I asked for the Kentucky game, and she picked Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Maria.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm. It hurt.
Yeah, we're all,
That one hurt.
everyone's laughing now. One day.
Yeah. It's great.
Just remind everyone we were 15 seconds away from beating TCU.
You'll find it funny, though, that even though I went to the ASU campus, for 2 rounds, they kept advancing U of A. I find that hilarious.
Yeah,
They advanced U of A in the round of 32 and the Sweet 16. They kept them in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I found that interesting.
I can't believe, and they got rid of GCU earlier. And I was like, whoa, what is this? There's hate towards GCU, but like
Is there more
admiration?
hate towards GCU than there is U of A? I really hope not. Cause
It's just very odd to me.
that is odd. That ASU, what are we doing?
And I think I think over half the people I asked at Tempe knew nothing about what March Madness was, which is great. It helps the bracket out, but somehow it's still one of the better brackets in this challenge, which, how is that possible?
Right.
Let me see what the worst bracket is right now. Let's go clown that person. Hang on.
Oh, let's hope it's not me.
Ooh, Lee Yates bracket, really bad, really bad. Stephen Buxton bracket, pretty terrible.
I know mine's not up there. Mine's not.
Uh,
I'm at like 15 some percent.
Oh, I found it. So Jeffrey Hinkle and Mahir had 2 brackets down here that didn't even finish. So that doesn't count. The ASU Picks bracket is second to last right now, but the worst bracket belongs to Jayla French, who I know quite well, part of the committee at the Monday-Wednesday Bureau. She did have a really good selection of NC State, Oakland, and Colorado to take out the first weekend. Wow. I see where she went wrong, though. Jones.
What?
She picked 2 16 seeds, 3 16 seeds, 3 16 seeds to win in the first weekend.
Ah.
Oh, and one of them goes to the Sweet 16. Yeah. Oh, 2 of them go to the Sweet 16. Wow. Ouch. Her final 4 was Illinois, St. Mary's, Vermont, and McNeese. And McNeese and Illinois were in the championship. This might not be a very serious bracket. Ernie Jimenez is one of the other bottom 3. Sorry, Ernie. Hate to see it. His champion, Wisconsin, is out of the tournament entirely. Reed Mitchell, his bracket's pretty down bad right now. We know Reed pretty well. He picked Oregon to win it all.
Okay.
But overall, his bracket's not bad because the rest of his picks aren't the worst we've ever seen. So good
Right.
for you, Reed, to stay in mediocrity. Yeah, he's actually number 18 overall right now.
Really?
Yeah, but his champion is out.
It's not. That's not awful. That's
No,
not.
it's not. Because he has Houston, U of A, and Illinois in the final 4.
Yeah.
So some of his champions or his final 4 picks are still there. He did predict a couple of the upsets. Did he predict Kentucky to lose? No, he did not. He did predict Florida to beat them, though.
Okay, that's what I had in my bracket too. I had
Right.
Florida. I had Florida.
I didn't
bouncing.
have Florida getting out of the first round. Lucky me.
I love the love just reading all the names of brackets too. Like Tommy's Boys to the Chip for Paul Scholes.
Oh, yeah.
Houston, we have a problem. Aaron Gonzalez.
Houston, we have a problem. Can we?
We're going to Disney. Jake Brown.
Let's pick the best one, the best name out here. Let me see.
I'm gonna go Aaron. I'm locked in.
Yeah, we
Aaron.
have Houston. We have a winner. That's really good. Chalk Talk for Paul Schultz.
Chalk
is
Talk.
funny. Let me
Bartlett's
see.
busted bracket.
Yeah, that one's good. Dante's Inferno for Reed Mitchell.
Oh, that's good.
It's a great bracket to the future. Is another Aaron Gonzalez. Swifty secondary.
Swifty.
Let me see.
RJ Renegades.
Tommy's Boys to the Chip. Paul Schultz.
I like it. I like that.
My bracket just means more for my dad who picked Kentucky, an SEC favorite.
I'm a big fan of mine. ESPN 97762572.
That one's really good.
Thank you.
Good job.
Did it myself.
I had mine as a Shepherd Will Lead Us. That was the one that I had before because read Shepherd Will Lead Us Bible.
Yeah.
I
like
but
it.
then I changed it to Golke Killed Me because he killed me.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I'm going to give it to Aaron.
Aaron.
Houston, we have a winner.
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
That's a good one.
All right.
That's a good one.
I think we are nearing the end of the Valley Varieties time here. So,
Well, should we let the users know that we may not be here next Sunday because of next Sunday is Easter?
oh, are you not going to be here next Sunday?
I might be at church.
Oh, well, I might be here.
Okay.
So I might fill the studio up with some random guests.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah,
You're not going to be here though?
I'll probably be at my parents'.
Okay, very good. So I'll be here, probably alone.
Oh.
No, Jack will be here.
Jack
too.
will be here.
So Jack and I will fill the studio with an assortment of people for March Madness.
I just kind of realized, like, hey, Easter is.
Yeah.
I'll let you know, folks. Easter is.
Easter's your favorite holiday, is it not? Or
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's up
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
Easter's okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
Spring.
Rabbits.
Rabbits.
Yeah.
Big rabbit guy.
Big rabbit guy.
Big rabbit guy.
Can you name your top 5 rabbit? No, we don't have time for top 5 rabbits.
Bugs Bunny. Roger is up there.
You got.
Um,
You like Roger?
Gosh, who else is up there? There's so many I can think of.
Well, keep trying.
The one who used to live in my backyard. It's great.